Hi everybody, Susan Sanford from Vineyard Complementary Medicine. This evening I'm going to talk about carpal tunnel, some of the symptoms, how to self-diagnose, and a few quick interventions you can do at home to help manage it. So carpal tunnel is numbness, tingling in your hand, typically in the thumb, first finger, and half of the middle finger. Typically happens in women. It can happen to anyone, especially if you're using your hands a lot. And typically those symptoms gradually come on throughout the night. So by the time 5 o'clock in the morning rolls around, you have to kind of wake up and shake your hands out because they're numb. Often it'll happen sometimes in both hands. The way to diagnose it is if you take your hand and you gently bend it as far as you can and wait 60 seconds. If that reproduces your symptoms, you might have carpal tunnel. Another diagnosis you can, self-diagnosis test that you can do at home is the Tinnell Test. And that's just basically tapping right along the median nerve. So that's what gets entrapped in here in what's called your retinaculum. And you tap, 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 tap. If that feels kind of weird and kind of brings on some of the symptoms, that could be a positive assessment as well. So you tap right here. So this space between your thumb and the palm of your hand, it's what's called the retinaculum, and it's like a band that goes across, and there's a tunnel in there that holds your median nerve, and when it gets compressed and you do over gripping, things get tight in there, and it just gets entrapped and causes the symptoms. So by tapping that, ooh, that feels weird, that can bring it on. And then the other one is if you raise your hands above your head, hold it there for 2 minutes. If that brings on your symptoms, then you can have carpal tunnel too. Some of the treatments are to stretch and open up the retinaculum here. So by doing some hand stretching, some thumb stretching, just general stretching. I like to do my stretches on the steering wheel of a car. So when you're stopped and you can just kind of press your thumbs on the steering wheel, stretch everything out. Remember, we want to create space in there. So creating space by stretching thumbs, fingers, wrist, as well as strengthening the back of your hand too. So you want to stretch and strengthen. Some other home remedies include, you can buy a kit and you can tape your hand. You tape your hand up at night, and what it does is it wraps around the back of your hand, opens up everything in here, creates some space. You can do bracing. So if you're really bad and you can't sleep through the night, you might want to brace it. But of course, the best thing to do is to contact your healthcare practitioner, your physical therapist, physician, nurse practitioner, to confirm that that's what your diagnosis is. The other thing I want to mention is posture and alignment. The median nerve runs up through the hand, up through the armpit, and ends up in your neck. So you want to make sure you pay attention to neck posture and alignment. So oftentimes, the worse your neck is, the more out of alignment it is, the tighter it is, the worse your posture is. That will also go hand in hand and increase your symptoms of carpal tunnel. So making sure that your posture is ideal, that your neck is super mobile, get full range of motion all the way, and do the stretches and see if you can manage it. Otherwise, give us a call. This is Susan Sanford from Vineyard Complementary Medicine. Thank you for joining.